You're watching the Tesla Life live with your host, Mark Codland.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tesla Life number 431, the 1st of October, 2025. Welcome one, welcome all. As you can see, Mr. Casey Green is incognito this evening. He's working on a camera issue, but I'm sure he'll get something going on. How are you today, Casey?
Self-inflicted as usual. I'm hoping that everybody that needed and wanted and was able did their purchases, and that if you were in the market for a Tesla, that you at least had your order confirmed, because it looks like they either are using marketing money to extend if you didn't get the car yet, or they got some assurances from the government that they could still give away that money. And so some of you guys got lucky, like Patrick and I were saying the whole time, that something would come up, but you couldn't count on it. And for Tesla and one other manufacturer, something did come up. They were the only two I heard saying anything, though.
Okay. So there are some that have gone by the deadline, and you think they'll be okay. So hopefully you've got that assurance in writing from your showroom when you went to order. But we shall see. Also joining us, as per usual, Mr. Patrick Connor from the West Coast. How are you today, sir?
Good. Hello, Tesla Nation. So I want to say a couple things here at the top of the show. One, the U.S. federal tax credit is now gone. Like you said, Mark, it's October 1st. This expired the end of the day yesterday. So that means all EV sales are just going to totally collapse in the U.S. and Tesla stock is going to go to zero. Pandemonium, cats and dogs living together. It's the end of days, right? Well, no, it's not. And if you want to know what I think the end of the tax credit means, I have a blog post about it. You can find that over at carswithcords.net. Check that out.
I just learned my name's Mark.
What's that?
I just learned my name's Mark.
Oh. You are having technical problems then. And the second thing is it's getting cold here as we move into fall. We installed a heat pump this summer, and of course over the summer it was running in air conditioning mode, but now it's running in heat mode, and not very long, like maybe less than an hour each morning. But it's cool that one device can heat and can cool, and now that means that we're not using the furnace, so that's one small step on our journey towards a future free from fossil fuels. Absolutely. So I'm getting in a plug for this one and this one right off the bat. Yeah. There we go.
Yes. I was pointing at the camera. You couldn't see it.
You're checking the boxes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And today we've got, again, October 1st into a new quarter. And numbers for Tesla haven't been released quite yet, right? I haven't heard numbers yet.
I looked on Tesla.com right before the show, and I didn't see them.
Yeah,
but it's usually 2 or 3.
Maybe roll in tomorrow or the next day. So
yes, I do expect them this week. Yeah, a couple days after the quarter.
But I've been watching too. I haven't seen any numbers, but we have a story kind of related to that today. But first, we're going to open up with the Model 3 performance. Model Y performance.
And Mark, and the Model Y is a Model 3.
That's right. And that Juniper vehicle now gets the ludicrous sticker on the back, which of course is that star field that we showed in the title of the show in the thumbnail. But that car now has the same sticker as the performance Model 3, and it is now available in the United States. So that just happened today. So
one day late for the credit. I don't know if it would have applied anywhere. But
how did that work?
I think it was on purpose, because the leases
a demand lever, maybe.
Yeah, the leases are all already up as well, so I think that was just planned. So we might finally get to see what a non-glass air quotes looks like a non-glass roof looks like. So
Wait, the performance model wouldn't
oh no,
have
not
a
the performance
non-glass
model.
roof.
I'm talking on the new entry-level Model Y.
The
Haven't,
we haven't seen that yet. I don't know when we're going to see it. I would not be surprised if it came out this quarter, but
It's the perfect quarter.
that's still.
No-
I mean,
no more.
we've seen some leaks from Green the Only, but
Mhm.
there's nothing official yet about it. I mean, Musk has mentioned it in the
Yes.
quarterly calls multiple times, and last time did spill the beans that it's in Model Y, so it's going to be a cost reduced Model Y. But that's not the topic here, Casey. We're talking about the
No, it was
performance. Just the opposite end of
way to go with
you
Model
pay
Y
more or pay less.
Yeah,
We're on the
the
pay more
most
side.
expensive Model Y was released in the United States today. We've got a
Yeah, it was tagging on the
0 to 60
leases and that this quarter.
0-60 time of 3.3
Almost as fast
seconds.
as my old bus at 3.3 seconds. Yes.
And we got 155 mile per hour top speed and a 308 mile range on a single charge. So EPA range comes in a little bit less than the dual motor car and of course the single motor car. But that's not a surprise when it comes to the performance. It usually chews up a little bit more energy than others, and that's par for this course.
What?
Right. Efficiency is not the name of the game when you're trying to get the best possible 0 to 60 and top speed and all that stuff.
But is it just the new body treatments and the bigger wheels? Surely it's not the motors, right?
It may be the motors because the motors, of course,
they
are
are new this
unbridled,
time.
They're
Unbridled.
Yep, they're
They did
pushed
something new
to
this
max. So
Tuned for
they will
performance.
consume more quicker because of that setting that they're on.
That's a good point, Lee. Lee says that the Model Y performance has a higher density battery. That would make it way more, which would give it less range.
More nickel.
But more density would give it more range. So the rocket equation strikes again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting news for some that have been waiting for the launch, and it will be interesting to see if that vehicle again, they don't break up the sales in the Model Y category. In fact, the Model 3s are lumped in with the Model Ys anyway, so there is no way that we would know what that amount is. But it is interesting to see that this now vehicle is going to be added to the lineup. And as Patrick and Casey had mentioned earlier, we're thinking about a budget Model Y coming at some point in this quarter, as well as this. So adding a few more options to the Model Y repertoire might allow a different group of people for purchasing, may help them. But certainly, it's good that finally the Juniper performance has been released in the US.
The Juniper performance is kind of a crazy idea. The idea of a Model Y. So Model Y to me means like a family vehicle, an SUV, something for groceries and school runs, and yet it's also in the performance mode a car you can take to the track. So you can do it. With 300 miles range, you can do a road trip across the country. You can go to soccer practice, or you can head to the track. It does it all. Funny
all
vehicle.
In one.
Yeah.
That's what we use the X for. It's got, we can take it to the track, embarrass a few people, and it seats 7 and hauls plywood and pulls trailers.
Yeah.
Do you take it out to embarrass people, Casey?
Well, I mean, I didn't tell them that their ancient Gasmobile was fast and that they should be proud of it. They did that and said, "Oh, what are you going to do with that minivan?" And, "Oh, shoot, that doesn't count."
Yeah, it was funny in the early days of Tesla when they were making up rules to prevent Teslas from going to some tracks just because they were embarrassing too many people. They were like, "Oh, all these guys who've been coming every week are just going to stop showing up because they're just getting the floor wiped." So we need to tell these Teslas to go away somehow.
I had that firsthand with the what did you call it? The where they invented the domestics of the drag race street tires, and it cut my pool down from 25 cars down to like 5. It was,
Right.
unpleasant.
Well, next, let's talk about what's been going on lately at Giga Texas. We've had quite a push there. Model-wise, as we suspected with other vehicles that Tesla sells in the US, have been running out the door because, of course, tax credit was ending as of yesterday. And we had this end run where many people who've been waiting to pick up their Tesla and haven't quite done it had decided to, well, it's get off the fence now or forever wait. So a number of them started to jump that fence and started to order the vehicles. And we quickly saw that delivery dates started to fall behind. And Tesla was producing as many as they could off the line at Fremont and at Giga Texas. And for that matter, Berlin has kicked up as well. And Shanghai is always at a high pace. But what's happened is that that Tesla was moving a great amount of production to Giga Texas, and the third quarter was running right to the final day, as it was even at Giga Texas this week, handing over vehicles to people at a new delivery center set up at the factory. So they were trying everything they could to move vehicles as quickly as possible, including dropping them off or having people come in and pick them up at the site. There was even talk of free robotaxi rides into the factory to get your car. So they would send you a credit. You could order a robotaxi. It would take you in from the Austin area to the factory for you to pick up your car. And what were we looking here? They were saying that they had hundreds and hundreds of cars going to customers at Giga Texas right down to the final day as part of the end of quarter push. And of course, they ran it right till midnight, still delivering all throughout the afternoon, the late afternoon to evening, and into the night. So, and there are several shots of the parking lot just jammed with vehicles. Joe Tegmeyer got a few choice photos of the pandemonium going on and the number of vehicles that are filling up those lots.
That's twice we said pandemonium in the show. Who else is keeping count? That bingo card.
It's a drinking game. So that is that's the news from Giga Texas, and I guess what we're going to see now is, as Patrick mentioned at the top of the show, is after this mad dash to the end of the third quarter, there will be some sort of a cooling off period, will be my guess, because we've obviously had a number of people that have done the Tesla stretch to get into the vehicles to get that $7,500 credit. And it'll be interesting to see if there's going to be a drop off somewhat once that credit is gone, which is basically now. Although Tesla has announced that they're already offering a program for people that are leasing vehicles, that they're adjusting the price down $6,500 to help leasees pick up the vehicle and not feel the complete sting of the $7,500 credit being gone.
Yes, I do think though that we're going to see a kind of a tug and pull. There's going to be less in the middle on this. You're going to have the folks who are going to do it anyway and realize that they don't want to wait 3 years or more to get their car, and then you're going to have those that already bought it because they know that they aren't flush with cash to spend the extra almost 10 grand, and so this next quarter is going to be interesting. But I'm thinking that the quarter that just finished yesterday is going to be phenomenal.
Here's a few photos from the the pandemonium, third time, that happened just recently. So there's a cool shot looking up the aisle of Model Ys backed up to each other with their trunks open.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
That's a little bit of a Tesla art shot. We might have to add that to the Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And then Joe Tegmeyer with the drones in the air. You can see the rows upon rows upon rows, sitting around waiting for pickup customers. Because, of course, there was a huge amount of people that were picking up at Tesla, hundreds and hundreds, as they were just rolling off the factory.
Do you guys have any guesses for how many vehicles Tesla delivered this quarter?
A lot.
Put that down, Casey.
We'll put Casey down for a lot.
Well, several lots, I should say.
This parking lot full. Lots.
Yes. Lots of lots. Yeah. I'm going to say that that they certainly will have broken any quarter this year, and I think it might be near an all-time high quarter. If it might not break it, but it's going to be close. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around 440 for the quarter, but that's just a guess, and we'll know in a couple days. Initially, I thought it would be more like 420, which we talked about last quarter. That was my guess then, but I think that they really did push hard. I mean, this is evidence for that right here that we're seeing. So maybe a little more than my earlier guess.
Okay. And again, as mentioned, we will know shortly. So it'll probably be tomorrow or Friday, because they're usually quick with the production and sales numbers at the end of quarter.
Right. They don't have to go and physically add up paperwork and take weeks to do it. They have a pretty automated system. Everything, as soon as it is purchased, I mean, since they own the whole stack vertically, they know all that data. It's just one database query away.
I wanted to talk a little bit about a person that wrote into us on our Twitter feed, and of course, if you or X feed, if you don't know it, you can follow us at the Tesla Life. Got a whole bunch of people on there that converse with us through the days and weeks. And this person, Josh Barzon, reached out to us and said, "Hey, you might want to share my story because I'm new to the EV world." And sure enough, Josh never thought he'd own one, but he needed to swap his current SUV for a commuter car. And he learned about the EV tax credit that was ending soon. So he ended up getting a 2019 Model 3 with 70,000 miles on it, and it ended up costing him, after his trade and credit, $7,000 total.
Wow.
Now, of course, he doesn't mention how much his trade-in was, but he must have got a sizable amount for that. But man, $7,000 for a Model 3 2019 with 70,000 miles. Not a bad deal at all.
No, not at all.
And Josh is brand new to EVs. He's been watching it from the outside, he said, for some time. But again, with his need of a commuter car, his situation had changed. He felt that the ability to switch from gas to electric was going to save him when it came to the commuting. And his SUV, of course, wasn't cutting it anymore, because that kind of gets expensive if you're traveling any distance when it comes to filling it with fuel. So congratulations, Josh. And keep us updated as to where you're saving, if you're saving, and if you're enjoying. So he's had the vehicle now for a couple of months, and he says that 2 months exactly. And he says currently he still loves it. So awesome. It'll be interesting to see if he gives us an update after half year or a year.
Yeah, we've talked about how EVs have finally been out long enough that there's a significant used market. And so that gives opportunities like this for somebody who isn't looking for, a brand new car. They want a commuter vehicle. And so buying used is perfect for that. And you can save so much money. I had never purchased a brand new vehicle until I got the Nissan Leaf, and that was in 2010. And that was really the only way to get a decent EV at that time, was to buy a new one.
Exactly. So
Awesome.
it's a big win, of course. And again, the other part of it is the amount of vehicles now that are off someone's lease, or someone has traded it in. So the used vehicle market, when it comes to EVs, is really getting a lot of traction. You've got a lot of vehicles now that are flooding into the used market, and it allows people to pick up a reliable EV at a fraction of the cost when it came out new. So, and with the lower maintenance, typically the vehicles are going to treat you well when it comes to what you have to pay for out of pocket when it comes to maintenance, because with far less moving parts becomes far less bills for anything that's going on with maintenance.
Cool. Do you know what region of the world he's in?
I do not know.
Okay.
Good question.
Just
probably if I clicked on his profile, it might tell me something.
Yeah, don't dox him or anything. I'm not. But
no,
just,
I've Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was interesting that Josh also got some other replies when he sent the note to us, and we had one person say, "Oh, that's great, but I'd be really scared of the battery dissipating after the next year or something." And Josh replied back to his credit with, "Hey, the battery has got 100,000 mile warranty on it, and I've still got 30,000 on my clock, so I don't have any issues with that." So
awesome.
Josh was up to speed with the warranty, which is good to know.
He had done his homework before he made the purchase, which that's just smart, and not falling for the FUD, because someone's always going to be like, "Oh, maybe you didn't know this," and trying to get you to hate on EVs. And I don't know how much of that is willful disinformation, or how much of it is just they've heard this disinformation and they're repeating it as misinformation. But yeah, you have to be smarter than that. You have to know that there's a lot of misinformation out there. And I wonder who could be promoting that. Who would not want you to buy gas, or who would want you to keep buying gas? I don't know.
Gee, I don't know who that would be. Yeah. Mr. Exxon, maybe one of the candidates.
I came across a video essay. They were trying to say whether or not FSD was any good, and I believe it was Forbes or Business Week or somebody like that. And they started out with a quote from the Dawn Project. I'm like, click.
For
sourcing.
Yeah. Exactly.
If they could said a university or this study that I'd never heard of, but they said the Dawn Project, I was like, yeah, this is a waste of my 30 minutes or however long it was going to be.
This is a lineup for FUD. Yes, indeed.
I think the same thing whenever I see, they're quoting Missy Cummings. Okay, she's on the board of a LiDAR company. Of course, she's going to say camera only is the wrong way to go. Yeah. And so, and then they do all these other things to try to make the person seem credible. And I'm just like, I know better than that.
There was another one that was quoting her as well. And they're like, oh, this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah, all those things are cool, except for, you remember, I was already showing her bias when she... Before I found out about the LiDAR thing, but with just the stuff she was saying when she was up for nomination. And then you find out that, won the LiDAR thing. And then her argument is that, everybody else is using LiDAR. Well, everybody else is jumping off a bridge. Are you going?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, she's a lemming. Off she goes.
Lemmings.
Another piece of new information that came out this week was version 14 of FSD has been unveiled. But get this, Tesla took it to Sweden and let the Swedish officials try it out, and they explained it on Swedish roads, and was trying to give them a heads up as to what FSD was and how the new version operates and is able to handle the obstacles in that country. So that was kind of cool.
So do you know if FSD's been released there yet? Version 13 or
it is not?
Is it?
Yeah, just Australia
Yes.
and the Americas.
So this is like a pre-regulatory visit to FSD, and it'll be interesting to see how long or how quickly Sweden will allow it or not allow it to be on the roads. So certainly Tesla's trying to release in a few European countries. We talked about France a few episodes ago, how they were driving around in Paris. And of course, these efforts are ongoing, I am sure, in a number of European capitals as they're attempting to get the first one on the books. And Sweden, if not Norway, would be prime candidates in my book, based on the number of Teslas that are in that particular area. And it will be interesting to see if they will be one of the forerunners for FSD acceptance.
Yeah, that will be interesting, because once you can get FSD on the roads, well, the natural next thing would be robo-taxis.
Yep, absolutely. That will be a close second for sure. Another piece of information related.
It was also a decent win over what we saw when the troops requested to bring their Cybertrucks over, and Germany said, "Hail to the nah."
What? I'm sorry, Casey. What was that about?
There were some troops that wanted to bring over their Cybertrucks in the way that a lot of the other vehicles get brought over when they are on a moderate length assignment. You know, hey, can we just bring our vehicle over?
So like bring their personal vehicle type thing.
Yeah, instead of renting or buying one. And so Germany said, nah, not a Cybertruck. But some of the stuff they said made sense, and some of the stuff was like, you guys didn't even look at it, like, or you only looked at the picture of it. You need to touch it.
Right.
And so with Sweden seeing FSD firsthand, it could be a good win for them compared to what we just saw with that.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point of having them do it hands-on, or no hands-on, but in the vehicle, but in seat, because there's so much press, and you're going to read this and that and the hype, and there's we just talked about it. There's tons of misinformation, and you should always try to go to the original source and not some filtered through someone else's opinion whenever you can. So if you want to have an opinion about FSD, get in a vehicle and try it. Not, oh, I read this, and of course, whatever side they were biased on, they are biased, because everybody is, and you're just gonna be parroting something you heard instead of actually having your own experience. So yeah, get those government officials, but in behind the wheel, and let them experience it. Then they're gonna know. And exactly. I'm actually surprised that they're doing, because 14 is not even. It should be released the 14.0 soon, but that's going to a small select group, and I don't expect it to go out to general population of vehicles until 14.2. And as we know, whenever they first do a new major step like this, there are regressions. And that's why you have to do the 0.1 and 0.2 before you roll it out widely. And sure, it has new capabilities, but it's also going to have new bugs, and so those need to be ironed out. And
but is that a show of confidence? If you're willing to show it to a place that you haven't been approved yet, unless you have a long disclaimer of like, all right, these are the known bugs, and
because you know that they would have tried it out in that area first before they just say, oh yeah, let's get some official and put them behind the wheel.
Yeah, let's roll up. I just loaded 14. We'll roll up to the administration office and we'll let them try it out with us at the same time.
Right, it might work.
yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would do something like that for sure. But I think it shows confidence, Casey. I think you're absolutely correct. Well, speaking of Europe, let's go on to the next story. And this is kind of interesting. on paper, the BYD.
Oh, can I take this one, Mark?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. So this comes to us by way of Tesla Roddy, and it's titled 500-mile test proves why Model Y still humiliates rivals in Europe. So
I just want to interrupt for 1 second, Patrick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The photo that we're showing here, who's guessing that a striped train goes by at this spot as opposed to a regular train? I can't believe the crazy looking. If that's a train, that's not a train track crossing. It just reminded me of a striped train. So go ahead, Patrick.
That's where the Beetlejuice train goes by there.
There you go.
You're not going to miss that poll. That is definitely interesting. Okay, so Simon Alvarez shares with us that BYD sales are surging in Europe, and according to some European media, they're outpacing Tesla. So there are, on paper, specs for the BYD C-Line 7 and the MG IM6. They both look like they have great capabilities compared to the Model Y. So one of the European magazines called What Car decided to do a test, and they have what they call the Real World 500-Mile EV Challenge. And so the test highlighted that the Model Y kicked butt over these rivals, and in cost and reliability, despite whatever specs the other vehicles had on paper. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but their key findings were that the C-Line 7 fell short in its projected range, nearly missing one of their charging stops, and the MG IM6 charging topped out well below its promised 400 kilowatt rate. So the Model Y delivered precisely as its specs said it should, and it had smooth performance. The charging speeds they list here are interesting because they did them in, they tested from charging from 25% to 80%. Now, what matters is not what percentage you have, it's how many miles or kilometers you added, how much range you added. So they should be going like, here's the time to add 100 miles or whatever appropriate metric you want to use. And MG was able to charge from 25 to 80 in 17 minutes, the Model Y in 28 minutes, and the BYD in 29 minutes. So I'm not sure how to compare those because I don't know what the ranges were. So if the MG had 40% less range, and of course it should take 40% less time to charge to 80%. But anyway, efficiency-wise, the Model Y used 19.4 kilowatt hours for 100 kilometers. MG was at 22.2 and BYD at 23.9. So the Model Y wins there. And of course, if it uses less energy per kilometer, it's going to then cost you less to charge up. So the Model Y won there. So here's the conclusion. Despite BYD and MG's, the Model Y proved to be the most efficient, the most affordable to run, and that's it. So it won. So yep, don't believe everything you read in the press.
kind of like bad advertising, right? That these models or these other vehicles have indicated that, well, we do this and we do that, and it's on their paper, it's on their white paper as to what they can perform and how efficient they are, and you get it into the real world, and guess what? It doesn't quite work out. So I hope there are some false advertising things that can be pulled on this in Europe that could, mention that, these are not accurate, or of course there could be a sway in 10% on the numbers that they post, because if you're making a decision based on actually published numbers, they should be accurate. And in this case, it looks like they missed on several different topics within the advertising for those vehicles.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have, fine print that says under ideal conditions, blah, blah, blah. Your mileage may vary, or your kilometerage may vary.
That's an American struggling with metric right there. That's what you've seen.
Oh yes, I did say it was 60
Fuel economy
Celsius
figures
here.
will vary.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just wanted to say kilometerage.
We're just making up stuff as we go along here, folks.
Freedom units.
There you go.
The kilometric stone.
Kilometric stone, even better. Yes. Oh my goodness. My goodness.
Pandemonium.
It's interesting to see that if you really compare them, and great that the what car actually performs this type of test and puts the vehicles through the paces. So that's good to see. Lets people know what they can expect in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Casey's got our next story because he, of course, is Mr. Supercharger, and I'm sure he is aware of this quick blip that came out.
Yeah, so we told you where the first V4 native supercharger was going to be, and it was in California, but it wasn't the one that we pointed out somehow. But they pointed out their first vehicle to test it was a Model 3?
I thought it was a Cybertruck.
It was not a Cybertruck. I was like, why would you waste your opportunity on not a Cybertruck for the first one? And we learned that that they will be opened to the other members of the Supercharger Coalition eventually, probably sometime this quarter. They wanted to not be another quarter late, so yesterday was they demonstrated, and then they did eventually get a Cybertruck on there showing 500 kilowatts from 0%. We'll see how high you can go in the taper to get your 500 kilowatt, and they said was 15 minutes to get you quite a few percent. I'm distracted right now, so I can't say the exact amount. And it was 30 minutes to 80 from 0. So that is considerably faster. I think they said 19% faster, but it's going to feel more than that because you don't need to get to the 80 to get to your next stop. So typically, you might be towing
that microphone cover. Oh, she's a cutie. Indeed. Yes. So that's great. It is surprising that they were reporting it was another California location that's going to open. So obviously that's going to be opening shortly. So number 2 will be quickly.
That same one we were talking about. Yeah. So Tesla is still calling it something different than what normal people call it. They called this one V4 cabinet station, whereas they were calling the V3 pluses for a little while now. They've been calling them V4 stations, which is stupid.
Confusing.
That for sure. So what a lot of other folks like us are now doing is they're calling the V3 pluses. They're either calling them V3 pluses or V3.5s. And the V4s, they're calling them real V4s. I think V4 native, which is one that I started with, and I think we should keep that one because it's accurate. Because you can have a V4 station that's not V4 native because it's a V3 plus or V3.5. And they also clarified that the 1.2 is only guaranteed for semi, but that doesn't stop them from putting a 1.2 megawatt on the ground for cars. It's just that the right now they're only offering 500 kilowatts, so they might be inclined to only put in a megawatt charger instead of a 1.2 megawatt charging cabinet. They slot in with like blades just like they did on the V3, and it was really cool to look at, and haven't gone through all the threads with the engineers to see everything they promised, but it's exciting, and I think it was Max that said, well, was getting excited about a box full of electricity. A little weird, isn't it?
So I always like to just go with the numbers instead of
500 kilowatt charger.
Exactly, it's a 500 kilowatt V4 versus the other ones that are 325 V4.
Right. Because 325 V3 plus, and then you had the V3s at 250, and then you had the V2s at 120, then 150, and then you had the V1s at 90, 120, and 72, which would also be the urban superchargers.
Because I'm just looking here on supercharge.info, and if you look at the V4s, a lot of them, they're still labeled V4, even if they're 325 kilowatt.
Yeah.
And you might say, oh, they're 3.5 or whatever. But like you said, the community is not consistent. Not even Tesla's not even consistent about how they're labeling these.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not being clear. But if you go by the charge rate, then that's not...
And that's all that matters.
Ambiguous.
When you're looking at a map, you don't care. Well, I mean, you do care what it looks like so you can find it, but you don't really care what it looks like. You want to know how fast I'm gonna get in and out, or is it in and out? Get your burger, but or do I want to go another 3 minutes down the road to this other station, and be on my way so much faster, especially if you have a car that can take advantage of it. Obviously, everything else.
You'd be concerned about this.
Yes, Cybertruck, and then also whenever the situation opens up for those vehicles like the Hyundai and the Lucid that require the 1,000 volt to actually have a decent experience. And so for them, they definitely want to see, oh, okay, this one is hitting 500. Okay, I can stop there. Versus this one that's only doing 120. I'm going to be there for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the Cybertruck will be that long, but the other ones will.
As this goes along, just like all the other version updates on superchargers, is that Tesla tends to play with them a little bit. They juice them up a little bit. They see how it works. They see how the different vehicles handle it, and they may come out with a higher charge, faster charge over time because they've done this in the past as well.
I'm expecting them to slowly ramp us up to a megawatt, because that's what the NACS high voltage can handle without any redesigning or reconfiguring. And from there, obviously, we'll have to wait and see what the SAE does with it, since they now control it. But we can see them go to megawatt, no problem, without anybody saying that's not standard. What are you doing?
Cool.
Oh, there's an RC in the comments indicating that he saw John Cybertruck pull 500 kilowatts on the internet today.
Oh, today, okay,
awesome.
But was he at 0 or was he a little higher?
Let us know, RC, in the comments.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So we're certainly moving along with superchargers. Again, we're up to version 4 now, I am I'm at the point with the Model 3 that I really don't care anymore. It doesn't bother me too much if it's a V2 or V3 or V4 at this point. If I'm traveling a long distance, I'm going to pick what is most convenient to me. I'm not necessarily picking for time, because typically they're fairly close when it comes to my car. Yes, I may spend a little bit more time, but I think the amenities are a little bit better for me to look at compared to the actual time, because I need a break anyways. And if this is at a major grocery store or something along that line, I probably pick that over one that is not, because all the amenities are there, and they're within walking distance. And if it takes me a little bit longer, I'm probably going to be a little bit longer anyway. So no big deal.
If it charges too fast, you don't have time to go in and grab a drink and go pee before you get idle fees. So you want
there's that. There's that. I still do tend to prefer V3 and up, just because my Legacy doesn't charge all that fast anymore. I mean, it can hit 180 and hold it for a couple minutes, but then it goes down below 180, and the V2 doesn't get me 180. So I tend to avoid them when I can, if I'm if I will be at a charge percentage where I can go above the 150, and so I'll look for a V3. The other thing I like about the V3s and up is the consistency of the charge with the liquid-cooled cable, or the liquid-immersed cable in the case of the V4. It doesn't slow down on me, and since my charge port is already thermally challenged compared to the new stuff, to add those two together means that we could be waiting for no reason if the last car in front of me was, say, a Cybertruck, and and maxed it out, and so it could be a minute before we.
Another bit of Supercharger news that we'll just add here, and we'll share the photo, is that Tesla has now appeared for the first time on a highway sign for their Supercharger site. So this is at Arizona Mills in Arizona, and it was the first one that hit an official highway sign.
Yeah, and Ryan Shaw was saying that he saw one on his trips before this one was announced. So he's not sure if that one went up first and then his went up, or maybe there's something different about the one he's got, or who knows. But he's excited to see that they'll start showing up there. And then some folks said, "Well, why do you need that if the car is going to show you?" You ever run into somebody and says, "Oh, well, you can't drive an electric car. There's no place to charge it."
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be able to say that if they keep seeing this daggum sign everywhere.
Yeah, and it's interesting that these highway signs, they cost money, right? Like
they are.
They have your logo or business on it. They're charging you a monthly fee or yearly fee or something along that lines for it to be there. And it could be, of course, because Arizona Mills is looking to draw people in, and that could be another reason to draw people in, is to have Supercharger available to them.
They could have split the fee on that one, because now they get to put their name on there without, and it shows up on a board they wouldn't qualify for because it's fueling.
Exactly.
Smart.
So very cool. Very cool. Well, I think we're going to wrap that up at this point. Keep the show tight and concise. Casey, what do you got for shout outs for us?
Well, obviously catch us on the Express shows, and then hopefully you'll also catch us on the Let's Chat with Casey and Friends on Sunday at about 1:20 Eastern PM. And then catch us again live next week, same time, same place.
Very good. Very good. Patrick.
And then Lee got some news for us.
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. Right now, I've got some stories up there. One, why fossil fuels don't need subsidies. Two, why I think Ed Niedermeyer is wrong about Tesla and where I think the fallacy in his mental process is occurring. That didn't sound very nice. I didn't mean it that way. But and the one I mentioned at the top of the show.
Followed a faulty logic train to come to the conclusion that he reached.
Right. Yeah. And we've had discussions with him, Casey. We've all had him. We were on What Drives Us Together. And when he's stating his facts about Tesla, he's spot on. He knows his stuff. But then the conclusions he jumps to from there, he's just off base. And I think I understand why. And that's what I tried to articulate is the expert fallacy and how it's how he's stuck in that trap. Anyway, check it out if you're interested. carswithcords.net. Thanks.
Very good. Very good. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on the video. Press that subscribe button. You'll be notified whenever we put out a new show. And sometimes we surprise you with new shows. So please do that. And you can follow us through the week at our X feed at the Tesla Life and see what's happening in between shows. With that said, have yourself a great evening or day, depending on when you're watching this. And we'll get together next time and find out what's happening in the Tesla Life.
Thanks, everybody in the chat. Stay positive. Test negative.
Thanks, Lee Moon, for the music. We're going for the extended version. Music's still going.